Greetings, beginning music technology students. Today, we'll be talking about harmony. What is harmony? Here you will see several definitions. The first is somewhat complicated and wordy. A more basic definition for harmony is the combination of simultaneously sounded musical notes to produce chords and chord progressions. Or simply put, the combination of simultaneous musical notes. The word chord is important for our purposes today. When discussing harmony, it is important to differentiate from melody, a concept that we've previously discussed. The characteristic difference between melody and harmony is the nature of the relationship between the notes. In other words, how we use the notes. In a melodic relationship, the notes are heard separately and in succession. In other words, they're played separately, one at a time. While in a harmonic relationship, the notes are heard simultaneously, or in other words, played together. So, notes are the building blocks of melody and harmony. Let's take three notes, C, E, and G. We can use those to create a melody. Or we could play them together, thus creating a chord. Constructing a chord is like building a snowman. Now in the South, we don't have a lot of experience with that, but the idea is useful. A bottom note, a middle note, and a top note. If we take a particular scale, in this case let's use C and write the notes out, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and we take every other note, in other words, for instance, take C, skip D, have E, skip F, and have G, those three notes can be used to create a chord. Looking at the diagram, you will see that a pattern emerges. So the C chord in the first row. In the second row, we take the note D, and following the pattern of every other note, we derive D, F, and A. In the next column, row, we have E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, so on and so forth. Notice that I've returned to the analogy of the snowman, but you'll see a musical staff. In this case, we're using the snowballs for whole notes. You will see that the chords written move up the staff. And note that the bottom pitches are the C scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So to write a chord on a staff, we follow this pattern. If the bottom note is a line, then the notes above it will also be lines. C, E, G, all lines. D, F, A, all spaces. E, G, B, all lines. Again, the distance between the notes are thirds. On the keyboard it looks like this. So to play a simple triad chord, notice I said triad because that is the type of chord we're talking about now. Tri, the prefix meaning three. So triad chords are three-note chords. So to play a simple triad chord, start with a note and play every other note. So for a C chord, play C, E, G. Play C. Skip D, play E. Skip F, play G. A chord of thirds. A triad chord of 3 notes. So here you go on a musical staff. You'll see the notes written of the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, ascending, in other words, moving up. And to facilitate, I've written the notes below, or rather the pitch names below each note, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. On the bottom staff, you will see those same notes with thirds stacked above them. C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, C, A. So on and so forth. Now how would that sound? Well, let's start with the C chord. There's the D, E chord, F chord, G chord, A chord, B chord, and back to C, an octave higher. Now notice that some of the chords have a different sound from the others. Obviously they're based on different pitches, but what I'm really referring to is the quality of the chords. In music we describe chords as having qualities. And when we're talking about basic chords, they're typically major or minor. Some would describe major chords as sounding happy versus minors, which could be described as sounding sad. And depending on a composer or artist's sort of creative desires, they could use major and minor chords and create pieces of music in major or minor keys. So in other words, let's take sort of a familiar song. So in other words, there we have mostly major chords, and so it's sort of a happy sounding song. What if we played it in a minor key? Sorry, my piano playing's not so good. So sort of a sad Twinkle Twinkle Little Star versus a happier sounding